I want to know whether if I learned the leasehold and the freehold, the freehold has been scratched off now. It's just left with the leasehold, and it'll be handed over 99 years when you buy a land.
Yes. So when
That's the maximum years that you can.
well, you see, a freehold interest
Right.
is more or less a perpetual interest.
Right.
So now, because in Ghana,
Right.
there are, I think, 4 main types of land interest. We have the state. The state owns land. So that is the state-owned land.
We'll come to that.
But you see, with the leasehold,
Right.
they give you the land for a particular duration. That means that the original owners still have their rights to the land. But for the freehold, they are extinguishing their full right to the land, and now that is no longer permitted for stool lands and for family lands and clan lands. But if it's your private land as a private individual, you can still give a freehold of the private land. I hope you got it.
Okay, I get it. So let me. So what are the types of land ownership? That's what I was coming to.
That's a very good question.
What are some of
so with respect to the Lands Act, right, and under Section 1, there are about 6 types of land interests that we can have in land. There is the allodial title, there is the usufruct, there is the customary law freehold, the common law freehold, the leasehold, and also customary tenancy. So 6 different interests a person can have in land. And those interests are really, really interesting, if I may say so, because the allodial title is the true ownership.
Okay.
Right. So the one who holds the allodial title is the one who has the highest or the ultimate interest in the land.
Right.
So most people operating in Ghana do not actually hold the allodial title. There are only small groups of people that can hold the allodial title. These are the land owning stools. Yes. And then we have land owning families and clans.
Yeah.
Those people are those who can hold the allodial title. And then we also have the state.
The state.
If it's public land, right, that the state compulsory acquires, then it means that the state holds the allodial title. Right. So usually, the allodial title refers to those who were of the ancient days who, discovered the land and settled on the land. Or they conquered, they fought the wars and they settled on the land. So as far back as the Asante Kingdom, all the lands in the Ashanti region thereabout belongs to the Asantes too. All the lands in the Volta region is broken down into various families or various stools. I hope you got it.
Right.
So the allodial title is the original owner of the land. It can also be vested in a private person. So a private person too can be the original owner. That means that there is no other owner of the land. They are the original owners. Then we have the usufruct. So the usufruct is a member of the family or a subject of the stool. So if the stool has the allodial title, the usufruct is a member of the stool. So if all these lands, let's say Oyaifa lands, belong to a particular family, the usufruct is a member of the family who can take a portion of the land. He settles on the land, he farms on it, and he has the usufruct. That is the portion of the land. Then we also have the leasehold. So, for example, this usufruct, who has a portion of the land because he's a family member, he can give a lease. And that lease is where we are coming to, that a lease cannot exceed maybe 300 years. It cannot be that long because it's not perpetual. The family must still enjoy the land, right? So usually a lease to an indigent, a Ghanaian person, right? I mean, a non-indigent who is Ghanaian, a lease to that particular person can be for maybe 99 years. Up to, it can be usually 50 years, 60, 70, 80, maybe up to 99 years.
Mostly it's 50 years for non-Ghanaians.
Yes, but for non-Ghanaians, it is this one capped at 50 years under the Constitution, under the Lands Act, probably Section 10 of the Lands Act. So you realize that the leasehold is because you are not a member of that particular family, or you are not a subject of that particular stool. So you cannot hold the land forever. So you get a lease. So most of us operate on leases. For if you are a Ghanaian, you can have maybe up to 99 years. If you are non-Ghanaian, then your lease is maximum of 50 years. But it's renewable. You can go and renew the particular lease. Then we also have customary tenancy. These are farmlands. Usually people enter into a busa and a bunu. You farm for the chief and then you give him a portion of the produce. So that one is not really common. It's in the, let me say, the villages and those places, right? The farmlands. And then we have the common law freehold. So the freehold gives the person full, almost perpetual rights in the land. So that's what we are talking about. That if you are a member of the family or you are a subject, you can get a freehold. I hope you are getting me. Because you have what? Perpetual interest. You are a member of that family or a member of that clan. But if you are no longer a member of the family or a member of the clan, usually you cannot get that customary freehold.
Okay.
The common law freehold is basically a transfer of perpetual interest. That is the sale of the land.
Right.
So when you sell your land and all your interest in the land to someone, because the land is privately yours, you sell it to another person, it's a common law freehold. It is usually documented in writing with all the particular dealings relation to contracts.
Right.
It's a sale and purchase agreement. So it's a contract. So the person has sold his entire right in the land to you. So that is the common law freehold. But usually if it is stool land or family land or clan land, you cannot sell the whole land to the person or the whole interest in the land to the person. It can only be a portion or a duration of the particular interest to the person, like a lease. I hope you got it.
Can you state some of the ownership? Can you state it and say, look, this one you can sell it, your right to it. This one you can't sell the entire right.
Perfect. Yes, I can do that.
Yes,
So allodial title
right.
is the complete ownership of the land.
Right.
So if someone has allodial title, it means that perpetually he and his family and the clans and the members of the family or the subjects of the stool own the land forever. Forever.
Okay.
So usually it's very hard for them to lose it. You cannot really merely sell it. Nowadays you cannot sell the allodial title. The only way you can lose the allodial title most of the time is where the state will compulsory acquire the land under Article 20 of the Constitution.
Right.
So the state has taken the land for the public interest. It becomes public land. So this means that unfortunately, because you are the true owners of the land, you have to give the land to the state. They want the land for the public interest.
Right.
You get it?
Right.
Now, usually in the past, allodial title, you can lose it when they defeat you in battle, but it cannot happen in these days.
Yeah.
And then when someone enters the land and discovers your land or something, but it doesn't happen in these days. I hope you got it. But then also the chief cannot give and sell out his allodial title again. Right. Because it's now perpetually in the family interest. So allodial title, for allodial title, it is the highest or paramount interest in land. It cannot usually be sold or transferred to someone. Permanently. Except if, even if, especially when it is a stool land or clan land, because it belongs to the people of the stool or clan. In fact, in the Lands Act, if someone wants to even give a large portion of the land to someone as a lease, they must go and do research as to why they are giving out such a large portion. So even you cannot give out large portions of the family land or the stool land to a different group of people for maybe a period of time. So allodial title there is almost untouchable. Then we have the Usifact. Usufruct. Usifact. It's a very foreign word, but it's very interesting. It is called beneficiary title. So this one is almost like the allodial title. This one is given to the members of the family or the members of the stool. Now remember, the stool is not a human being. It is like an authority. So if the stool says Oyarifa lands belong to the stool, right, then it is the subject of Oyarifa lands who have the Usifact. So they all go on the land, and where they can possess, farm on it and stay there is for them. I hope you are getting it. So they can grant the Usifact to another Usifact. So that one they can sell or transfer it to another member of the family. So if I'm a member of the family and I settled on this portion and built my house, later on when I'm leaving, let's say Accra, or I'm leaving town, I can sell this whole house and the portion to another member of the family. But I cannot sell it or give it to a non-indigent, someone who is not a member of the family, unless I have the consent or the permission of the allodial title holder. So for families, the allodial title is in the head of the family. But for the stools, the allodial title is in the chief, the stool, which is represented by the chief. So anything that deals with that particular family land or stool land, you need the consent of the family and the consent of the chief. Unless you are transferring the land amongst yourselves, then you don't need the consent of the family. It's very technical. That's why usually, think under Section 31 or 32 of the Lands Act, they said for these technical issues, you need to consult a lawyer. So it's a lawyer or the legal practitioner who draft these particular instruments, because they'll be able to detect which particular type of interest you are transferring from one person to another. I hope you got it. So the Usifact is beneficiary interest. You must be connected to the family or to the chief. And the last one is that for the Usifact, if maybe you are not a member of the family, but you've stayed there for more than 50 years before you can even get the Usifact. So it's very hard for an external person to get the Usifact. If you want to get it as an external person, you must be, on the land, according to the Lands Act, Section 5 or so. You must be there for more than 50 years
Right.
with the consent of the allodial title holder before you can even get the usifer.
With the